for the internet. 3 years ago, I got fired from my job. I spent a whole year jobless, trying to freelance and do the things that I can to just pay my rent. And then 2 years ago, I started my first company, which I call Norbe Digital. And I was watching on YouTube, how can I actually be rich? And a lot of people were talking about social media marketing agency. And I wanted to give that a shot. I didn't just want to do something new. I wanted to be rich, fast, do anything that I possibly can to make money as fast as I can. So I went to YouTube and then I was watching videos on SMMA. I bought a course that I was teaching how to do SMMA. The problem that I had with that course is, yeah, they give you all the knowledge. You do get few things out of it, but you don't get the things that they actually guarantee. They're going to promise you the entire world trying to sell you on that shit, bro. If you are on internet and if you're watching ads, they will say anything and everything to get you to sign up. I'm not saying what these people are doing are not morally right. That's how marketing works. People will say anything to get you to buy. It's just the reality of the world. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but the reality is people will say anything to persuade you. It took me 3 weeks to finish the entire course. Before buying the course, I thought, just from the way the ads and everything sounded, I thought, just by taking this course, I will finally be free. I will have all the money and the girls and Turns out, that's not how it works. I still remember after watching the last video, I'm like, is this it? Like, where's the rest of the stuff? But I still ended up figuring out what to do after that, not from the course, but like just going on YouTube, figuring out other people that are doing similar stuff and figuring out what they're actually doing. So I then ended up creating this company, which was going to be a social media marketing agency. I kind of shut it down after 2 months without making any sense. It took me 2 months. I was putting all the work in and I shut it down after 2 months. Another friend reached out and he was like, dude, I'm also doing the same thing and you're also doing the same thing. Why don't we combine and just work together as partners? I like the sound of that because this guy was already in the business for a little bit. All the things that I built wasn't completely wasted. It kind of gave me the proof that I know what I'm doing. So I took up on his offer. We started this company and this was right when ChatGPT was like brand new. No one knew about it. We were kind of early on that phase and we were sitting on this boardroom table and we were discussing, what can we do? How can we leverage this new thing and make money with this? So our goal was to make a shit ton of money. It's not to help people. It wasn't to, create an impact. It was straight up making as much money as possible. But also we realized the only way you can make money is by providing value. So here's what we did. We figured that if you put the word ChatGPT back in those days, if you put the word ChatGPT on your ads, people will go crazy. People will go crazy and buy your shit, no matter what you're selling. ChatGPT was this brand new thing and it was revolutionary and it was changing people's perspective on how everything works. I remember the first time I saw ChatGPT, first time I saw AI, I was like, dude, this thing is fucking wild. And we wanted to make money with this. So we created our website, our ads, our marketing material, our emails, everything around the keyword ChatGPT, and it worked exceptionally well for us. We started our company about like March 2023. It took us like a week to close our first $2,000 deal. So we took this white label tool, which can send SMS, DMs, which can follow up on lead messages. It was just an appointment booking bot. It was a brand new thing. Currently, a lot of people are doing it. It's kind of saturated. But before it was like a new thing and no one knew about it. And we made our advertisements. We're saying ChatGPT can book you sales calls. ChatGPT can book you appointments. ChatGPT can deal with your customer support. Leverage ChatGPT for sales. We just made ads in a creative way where people can understand how AI can bring results for them. And dude, the appointments that we're getting was crazy. I was on Zoom back-to-back 30-minute appointments. I was doing 10, 15, 20 calls every single day for like a period of time. That's how crazy people went for this offer. Even though we had absolutely no clue how to market, we've been doing advertisements for a bit, but we weren't experts. It just shows if you have a solid offer, you can make it work even with shitty ads. You ran these ads, or again, the bank account was zero. We had a credit card and we used that credit card to run ads. Yeah, so then we decided to run these ads, even though our ads were completely shitty. It just shows how even if you have shitty ads, you can make it work. It's all about the offer. If you have a solid offer and a shitty ad, you will still make a shit ton of money. So it's about finding out what the market currently seeks desperately and then giving them just that. So these ads worked exceptionally well. I was taking back-to-back sales calls for almost like a whole month, 10, 15 calls every single day. It kind of sounds against what other people preach, which is it takes a lot of time to get your first close because you need to develop the skills. My first close was for $497. It was a huge deal for me. was a completely game-changing deal for me. That was the first close. It was a huge deal, and I never thought I would be able to do it. 2-3 days later, I had my second close for $2,000. It was unbelievable. I never thought in my life that I can create something that can give me as much results as this. It kind of woke me up into the fact that if you start a business, you will be rich. At that time, I was comparing. If I were to make that $2,000 in my 9-to-5 job, it would take me, I was doing the math. It would take me 100 hours of work because I got paid like $20 an hour. It would take me 100 hours of work to get paid $2,000. And I did that in a sales call after putting in work for like 2 weeks. Then I started closing deals. After that, money started coming in. Pretty much spent like 3-4 months just completely taking sales calls. We kind of almost doubled our revenue every single month. So it went, first month I think it was like $4,000, and then the second month was $8,000, and then it was $12,000, and then $15,000, and then $30,000, and then $45,000. So that's how it kind of grew. It grew exponentially, a type of growth that I never thought was possible for people to make. Because yeah, you see YouTubers claiming all these claims, but you don't actually believe them. Like a lot of times you don't believe them. Subconsciously, if you've never done it before, if you've never seen the proof of concept, you'll be like, that's fluff shit. But it kind of woke me up into the reality that it is possible. But then things weren't always great. We kind of plateaued at that mark, 30,000, for like 3-4 months. And we did everything that we can, and none of the things worked. We failed to see the actual reason, which is the offer got saturated. People have seen that offer enough. They don't want to buy it anymore. Like they know, okay, it's not a new thing. Initially, people were taking action because it was a brand new thing. The shiny object syndrome. People want to click on something that claims things that they've never seen before, because a lot of people have tried a lot of things before and failed miserably. So as soon as they see something new, they want to jump on that train. By the time book appointments with ChatGPT wasn't a really attractive train, we had to do what we did best. Find out the new trend, find out what is currently trending, leverage that, and create an offer. That's when we created a new company for voice calling. How do you make AI calls to book appointments and do customer support? Almost 90% of the companies that you see online have a similar funnel structure. They run ads. Through ads, leads will sign up. And once lead comes in, someone on their team will call these leads immediately to book appointments. Because if you don't call them, if you just send them messages, your lead to appointment conversion ratio is going to be super low. But if you do call them, and the sooner the better, because after 5 minutes, if you call them, there was an actual study that says, if you call these leads after 5 minutes, your chances drop by like 30% or 30 times or whatever. It's huge. So because people are scrolling on Instagram and social media, and they have an attention span of like a fucking puppy, dude. And they don't really remember what they saw 5 minutes ago. So if you call them like an hour later and be like, dude, I'm calling from this company, and they'll be like, who the fuck are you? It really works out when you call them as soon as they sign up. So as soon as they give you their contact information, you call them. If you're running an online business, that is essential. That is must. Some people understand this, some people don't, and they're wondering why their business is shit. We did have someone like that for our company. We outsourced the whole VA team. They have this whole system set up, and they call our leads as soon as they come in for us. They have our scripts, and it's all systemized for them. They did a great job. I think that guy is still doing it. I still see his ads. He's still doing it. It's good. But the problem with that was those VAs, they don't know other details about our company. They only know the script, and they just say the script. If they ask anything else, they'd be like, oh, this person on the sales call will assist you. And it's not really trustworthy. Also, another thing, this is also, again, the reality of the thing is when you're selling to people in America, and if they hear anything but an American accent, they're not going to trust as much. These people were outsourced in the Philippines. They did have a strong accent. Even if some of them didn't have, you can tell it's not an American accent, it's from somewhere else. That also lowers conversion rate. And there were multiple other factors. This team was expensive as hell. You have to pay them a monthly retainer plus. Okay, so as I'm editing this video, I realized the clip ends here. I was wondering why, and it's because the camera died, and I have to shoot the rest of the story again. Fun. As I was saying, we hired this virtual assistant team. They were really helpful, but they charged based on commissions plus a huge one-time setup fee and also a monthly fee to keep them going. Even though we had positive return of investments, we were thinking about how can we use AI to replace this team? Because what we're currently doing is making AI book appointments, but on the chat. If we can replicate that technology over voice, that could be revolutionary, because pretty much all the business will want something like this. Then we happened to find this team in India who were already doing this. They weren't very popular and people didn't know about them, but they were already doing it. So what we did is we went to this team and we said, hey, we're going to black label your product. So we paid them lots of money. We got the black label access. We were so excited. Little did we know this wasn't going to be a great idea, even though at that time it did make us a lot of money. but it wasn't the best idea. After that, we created a completely new website, new product, new offer, and we ran the ads. For some reason, no matter what we saw, this is something that we did the best throughout the time, which is the marketing aspects. No matter what we were selling, we knew how to create the ads that always convert. No matter what we were doing, our calendars were always full. So I would say that's what we specialized in. We ran the ads again, and for the second time, I was completely focused on sales now. I created the ads and we ran the ads. We created the website, and once we ran the ads, my calendar was full. So this room used to be my bedroom before. I was doing sales calls right here. I was just sitting down with a very clunky table and my laptop, and then I was just on it for 8-9 hours every single day with complete sales calls. This period was incredibly stressful, but also very rewarding. Sales is just very addicting because you get this dopamine hit every time you close a deal. Sales is just super exciting. It's like a high adrenaline sport. I think 1 or 2 months I was just spending completely taking sales calls during the work hours, and then spending my rest of the time fixing the things with the business, marketing, taking care of all the other stuff. It was all going really well. Our revenue was at the highest, but our relationship with the development team started to break because our customers were asking for refunds and then canceling because the product did not work really well. And the dev team would not do the fixes that we want because they're also dealing with other clients, which is another business lesson that we learned, which is if you want to create a product or do anything, you need to have complete control. You cannot have anyone have control of things, no matter how much you trust them. That's one of the most valuable lessons I've learned. If you're doing something, make sure you have full control over it. Since they had full control, we couldn't do anything about it. Since we had money sitting in the bank, we just went ahead and created our own platform because we understood our audience intimately and we knew exactly what they want. So we know how to create a product that they would want rather than selling the one that we had. We ended up developing this platform, but we still held on to the existing partnership with the previous team just to keep the cash flow coming in. Once our platform was live, we shifted everything to our platform. This was again a really great move because once we had full control and we knew exactly what our customers wanted, we were fixing the platform as fast as possible and growing. When it comes to software, it's all about product. You need to have the best product out there. It's not about marketing. It's not about the sales. It's about product. So if you have a great product, people will buy. So since we had a really good product back then, people started to come in. I again went back into selling high ticket for a brief period of time. I started doing sales calls, and then I hired a whole sales team with 5 people. Everyone had packed calendars. They were taking sales calls. So here's a quick tip. No matter what you do, if you need immediate cash flow, start a high ticket offer. Which is something I mentioned in my other shots, which is if you need immediate cash flow, start a high ticket offer. If you feel like there's a lack of cash, start a high ticket offer. It's easy to sell. You can make fast money with it. So I started this high ticket offer, and then I wanted to go all in. So I hired a sales team. We grew the team. They were making sales until the sales dropped, of course, because again, the market was a little saturated. Our offer wasn't that enticing, at which point we had to come up with more new stuff into the same existing ecosphere. And then I slowly started to burn out. I didn't want to do whatever I was doing anymore because my interest and the vision for my life kind of changed. And I was feeling severely unmotivated to work on the existing stuff. It was just too much clutter in my brain. So I had this 1 month of kind of awakening into the actual things that I want to do, which kind of reset me. And now I'm doing all this new stuff. I exited all my previous ventures. So currently what I'm trying to do is just share everything that I've learned, because starting a business is definitely one of the most valuable things or important things that's ever happened to me. And I feel incredibly lucky for my life situation to have forced me to start a business. And I want this for everyone because this is real freedom. I don't think I'll ever go back into someone else's office and work a job and follow someone else's orders, because that's not a place that I want to be. And I don't think anyone deserves that place unless you're working in a job that you actually enjoy and you're completely fulfilled. Not fulfilled as in I'm going to lie to myself and say this job is making me happy because I don't have the courage to quit it and pursue my dreams. Like if you're actually finding meaning in what you're doing and you're learning things that you want to learn and you're completely fulfilled where you are right now, you can stick to that job. But I would say 99% of the people hate the jobs that they're working in. They know they're capable of something much better, but they're just too scared to take the move, quit the job and pursue what they want. So the point I'm trying to make is I wake up every day filled with life, filled with energy, filled with enthusiasm to do the things that I want to do. And starting a business gave me the freedom to work whenever I want, work on whatever I want, and also it gave me the freedom to spend money on whatever I want. And a strange thing that happened to me when I started making money from businesses, I stopped converting a price tag into hours of my life. When I had a job and if I want to go get a burrito and it's $15, I think, oh, that's 1 hour of my life in that office. Do I really want to trade 1 hour of my life in that office for a burrito? Probably not. And it happened on everything. So if I see something with a price tag of $150, I'll think, is it really worth 10 hours of my life? And then I would not end up getting it. So I was living this extremely limited life because I had a job. The thing with business is when you start out, you're probably not going to take money home. But as you go on, your revenue grows exponentially. So like I said, when we started out, our revenue kind of doubled every single month. First month, we made $4,000, which wasn't a lot. It's almost close to the minimum wage. But the second month, we made $8,000. And the third month, it kind of doubled. And if it doubles every month, it grows exponentially. Input, which is your time, has a non-linear output. And that's just really fulfilling. Since I had it, I want others to have it as well. And when I see my friends also being extremely frugal with their money, it's not their fault. It's just because they're tying that money to time. But I didn't just want to be a course creator. I didn't just want to create courses because I remember what courses have done to me. Even though it provided me with a lot of value, it didn't give me proper step-by-step action plan to get started and make money. I told myself, if I'm going to create a course or a community or something that can educate other people, I want it to be practical. So if people get in and get out, they need to have something tangible, something physical that they can show for, which is bringing them cash. I didn't want to just create a course and then just, talk about stuff. I wanted it to be a combination of the value-packed information plus the actual tools and templates. When I say templates, what I mean is if you're going to run ads, if you're going to set up your email nurturing sequence, or if you're going to build your funnel, all these are essential pieces to run an actual business because there are these little moving parts which pretty much no courses covered when I look back when I wanted to start out. The courses never contained the actual substance that brings in money. So for the people that are starting out, it almost forces you into a place where you need to take a course for every single aspect. So if you want to learn how to run a business, you got to take a course for that. If you want to learn how to create effective funnels, you need to take a separate course for that. If you want to learn how to convert better with your ads, you need to take a separate course for that. I wanted to eliminate all these nuances. So I went ahead and I took this Go High Level template, which is a CRM template, which is highly customized for this specific industry. I know it sounds complicated if you're a beginner. What I'm trying to say is if you want to start a business, you need to have things one by one lined up to bring you money. So here's a complete beginner's guide to making money online. And the first step always is renting eyeballs. How many eyeballs are you able to get on your specific offer? And there are multiple ways to do this. My favorite way is ads. You can use organic content strategy, email marketing, SMS marketing. There are other things that you can do as well. My favorite way is ads because that's what we use from day one. It does require a little bit of investment, $10, $20 a day initially to get some results. But the cool thing with ads is once you get one sale in from an ad, you can reinvest all that money and that's going to feed your ads for months. And then you can increase the budget. You can grow really, really fast if you know how to make ads work. So once you run your ads, your goal is to get as many people in your industry to look at your ad. If you create an enticing ad, people will click the button below on the ad. That's your goal with the ad. Once they click that button, they go to a landing page, which we call funnel. Now, what a funnel is, it's not a website. It's not a website with a lot of buttons. A funnel only has 2 or 3 steps. All the button goes to the next page and that button goes to another page. So consider it a 3-page website and only has 3 pages. The first page usually is where you educate your customer. If you have a solid guarantee on the top of the funnel and just a little bit of text, a little bit of glimpse into what you can actually do for them, they will click the button below. That's when a lead form pops up. They give you their contact information. Once they give the contact information, they move on to the next page, which is a VSL page. Now, what a VSL page is, it's a video sales letter. It's just a video that sells your product. It needs to be crafted in a very specific way to get the maximum result. And once they watch that video, they build a little bit more trust to click the button below again and book a meeting. And the next page goes to a calendar page where they book a meeting with you, which is the sales call. Now, why do we do this instead of just selling them upfront? With ads or email marketing, what you're doing is you're going after cold audience. These are strangers that don't know you exist. If they don't know you exist, they don't trust you. If you see a content or an ad from someone you already follow, you already have a little bit of trust. If they are trying to sell something, you will buy it easily. But if there is someone trying to pitch you some service and you don't know this person, you're not going to trust them immediately. So you're going to have this guard on. And we have this entire funnel to slowly ease them into this bath where they're surrounded with trust. Every step adds a little bit of information, a little bit of context as to who you are. So they trust you enough to just to book a call. Now they're still not buying the product. They're booking a call with you. Why? Because now you're going to jump on a call with them or have a sales team jump on a call with them. You're deepening that trust before they can actually buy the product. If you're selling a product for $4,000, it will take all those steps to get a client to trust you enough to pay you $4,000. Now there's a certain template you have to follow, certain structure and flow you have to follow throughout this. And you can learn everything individually. There are brief videos inside the community for that. I thought the most easiest way for you to do this should be everything built as templates. So we have the templates for everything, for your ads, the funnel page, the VSL, how to structure the VSL, how do you structure the calendar page, how do you structure the thank you page so people show up, all the little nuances that that requires to creating a successful marketing funnel, I have built it as a template. So you can just plug in, change the words here and there, and shoot your VSL, and you're good to go. So that's kind of what I put together for the community. I'm just giving it away for $29 for now. Obviously, it's not going to be free because your boy's got to pay rent. Now, you don't have to buy that. If $29 means nothing to you, it's probably ideal for you because it's going to save you a lot of time. But if you're a beginner, do everything from scratch because it's going to teach you a lot of stuff. These templates, once you do it and it works, you're not going to know what made it work and what are things that you have to know that helps you with creating new offers, new stuff in the future. Because all the material is available on YouTube. I'm going to be posting about all this stuff on YouTube too. I already have some stuff and I'm going to be posting stuff in the future as well about this. You don't have to do this if you're a complete beginner. I would actually recommend you learn this thing step by step. But if you're already in this field, you kind of understand the basics. And if $29 means relatively nothing to you, this would save you time. Because with the community, you don't just get the templates and the tutorials. You also have like-minded people inside the community. You know, if you have a problem, if you have a bottleneck, if you have a constraint, tell people I'm facing with this issue. If anyone know how to solve it, just let me know. And then people are going to comment and help you out. This makes this journey a little less lonely. Even though entrepreneurship is extremely rewarding and exciting, most of the times it's really hard and lonely as well. And you need people that can support you. You need people that can get you out of that little dark place that you're in. Having a community of people really helps. If you're starting something new online for the first time, I would recommend also grabbing a partner, a friend maybe. It really helped out for me because we kind of motivate each other up, lift each other up when we're feeling down. You don't feel alone. So bottom line, end of story, I'm going to stop this rant. I don't know why are you still watching this video. I didn't expect anyone to watch this video this far. In the end, I just want to leave you with this. AI is going for everyone's jobs. The amount of things that are coming out is really crazy. A lot of people are living in a delusion where AI is not going to come for their jobs and their job is like really special and unique. But if you see the new tools that are coming out, if you're up to date, people are first of all not up to date. If you're up to date, you can see how fast it's all improving. Like 1 year ago, the image generation, the video generation was complete garbage. But right now, they are creating ultra realistic images. There's no way you can tell a difference between an AI generated versus a real image. If you have a job and if you think AI is never going to replace it, you're deluded, dude. It's just a matter of time. And I think it's everyone's responsibility to future-proof themselves because life is hard, dude. You probably have people that rely on you, trust you. And I think it's your responsibility to stay ahead, keep yourself updated. Even if it comes for your job, even if you get fired, I think it's a good thing because it's going to finally force you to do the thing that you always wanted. So no matter what happens, just believe in yourself and start a business. It's going to work out.